Good morning, sports fans. Lincoln, Logan County. You're in the cheap seats with Scott Kirby, Joe Ryan. Joe.
Morning, fans.
Yeah, we got Coach Alexander getting ready to come on with us here. A lot to talk about today. Lincoln Raider basketball. We got the big football game going on Sunday, the Super Bowl.
Almost going on Sunday night, isn't it?
Yes.
It starts later and later and
later. It
later.
does, yeah. They need to play that thing on Saturday.
Saturday Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be. You get a lot more viewers, and the beer people would like it a lot more too.
Work would be better on Monday.
It would. It would.
For those of us that do work.
But we are broadcasting live here at Jake's Furnishings on this crappy day, slushy, icy.
Yeah, we got another winter storm watch going on or something?
Yeah, it's going on a whole weekend, I guess. So
Ice bowl.
Yeah, ice bowl.
What if we all get barricaded in and the cable goes out?
Well, then.
And we miss the Super Bowl.
That's not going to be good.
There'll be a lot of beatings. There'll be a lot of people going down to the emergency room for the beatings going on.
Well, they'll be traveling down south to find a TV. But, the big game Sunday night, Seattle, Denver. And then depression sets in. No more football.
Yeah, we got to just be depressed.
Yeah. Coach Al gives the fist pump. There is still basketball. And
March Madness coming up.
A couple of weeks away. Pitchers, catchers, and meet. Baseball. So a little warm thought right there.
They're sending us out there, right? Is that still on? The crew's getting sent out to some spring ball
That'd be a
somewhere?
good idea. They can probably send us out to Arizona.
The phone lines are open if you want to call and donate money for us to go to it.
That'd be awesome. But, Coach, good morning. Thanks for coming in on this crappy day. Before we talk about, what happened last night, what's going on tonight, we got a lot of listeners that are new to the show and wanting to know, well, Coach Al just got his 700th win last week. He didn't get all those at Lincoln, did he? I'm like, no, he's been coaching for quite some time. So kind of give the viewers, you started your career in Nokomis playing, continued to play college. Why basketball? I know you've played all the sports. You've played football. You played baseball. Why basketball?
I have no idea. I enjoyed them all, and that's one thing that kids do not get to experience today. And back if I'd have had the opportunities that kids have now today on each individual sports, I'm not sure I would have, played that many sports. But we didn't have open gyms in the summertime. We didn't have weight rooms. We didn't have anything other than, November 1st, you started playing basketball till March, and, you started track in the middle of March. You went to summer baseball. You went to football in the fall. So it just kept turning over and over and over. And, I've been blessed to have been able to do, I played 4 years of basketball at Monmouth College. I played 1 year of football. I played 1 year of baseball. And enjoyed all the times that I had on the fields, and it's great to experience all of them. And all games have changed so much over the course of time, and it's been just been a joy to do. Why I picked basketball, I don't know. I've guessed probably because I had the most success at that. And and I really enjoyed playing it. That's probably the most enjoyable sport that I enjoyed. And then I went from there. I started my coaching career in 1976 at a little school up on the Mississippi River south of the Quad Cities in Joy. It was called Joy Westmer. I was there 1 year. I moved the following year. We still lived in Monmouth where I went to school, and we really enjoyed the community of Monmouth, and we weren't really wanting to leave there. So outside of Monmouth there was a kind of a rural school that set out in the outside of Monmouth about 5 miles, and it was called Monmouth Yorkwood, and I spent 2 years there. And then we started to venture a little bit. We had a family, and after your college days, your college guys, your buddies, they all move away. So everybody had started to move away, so we kind of started to venture away from Monmouth. And we went to Bushnell Prairie City, where I found you.
That's right. You lucky dog.
And I spent 11 years.
You ever wondered about some of the moves you've made?
Yeah, that one was a bad one. No, it's
just like a stray cat. I followed him all the way
Can't
to
get
here.
rid of it. But, I spent 11 years there and coached football. I've coached football many a years. coach baseball, coach basketball.
And he used to paint the field too, and did a phenomenal job for football. It was,
yeah. I've done everything throughout. I've cleaned the gym after games. I've done everything. And but I spent 11 years there, and then 1990 I moved to Lincoln, and have been here for 24 years.
Well, not even going to ask, how many wins you had here and there, because you probably don't know, and you really don't care. I know you're pretty humble about getting 700 wins is a pretty big accomplishment. You think there's only 15 other guys in the state of Illinois, if I'm correct, that has done that. Now he's working on 800. I mean, if you do the math, a lot of people, they'll never see 100 or 200 wins, but that's just a huge accomplishment. And, I don't know what your record is, but the percentage is pretty high. So, and you've been doing this a long time, so.
Well, you got to have good people. I mean, it's about a lot of things that go into it. You have to have the commitment from the kids. You have to have, their trust and belief, and you have to have administrative support. There's things you have to do, and coaches you have to work with the administration. They're your boss, and you got to do what they tell you. And I've been fortunate over the course of time to have excellent administration. Your assistant coaches, I think we have the best staff in the state of Illinois, bar none. I think we work together, we enjoy each other, and we have a good time with it. And, it's not my team, it's not our coach's team, it's our team. The kids that play together, we're one unit. Each of us function on different things, and, they play, we direct, and, again, there's a lot of people don't believe in what we do, but as long as you have your coaching staff and you have those 15 guys believing in what you're doing and all playing for the same common goal, you have a lot of success.
Well, then that is true, and like you said, it's a program that it doesn't change year in, year out, and Lincoln, they never have the best talent or the tallest kids, but it's their worth ethic and being able to be coached. And seems year in, year out, Lincoln has a successful program. With that being said, Coach, let's talk about what's happened the past couple weeks. We haven't had you in for a couple weeks. Where you guys were in Jacksonville last week, and it seems like Lincoln's back in their groove. I know we had a bad weekend a few weeks ago, which that's in the past, and we'll let that go. But it seems like the kids have rebounded and got their mojo back, I guess. Go over to Jacksonville and just dominate that tournament.
Well, we the Lanphier loss, that hurt our kids pretty bad. They wanted one thing and one goal, and as far back as I can look and see, that I'm not sure, and maybe back in 1980 when they were ranked 1 and 2 with Quincy, but Quincy was so good that year, I'm not sure they jumped over them to the number 1 spot, but that was a goal our kids wanted, and they were really depressed after that. And Wayne McLean, we had the next night, and Wayne had his kids pumped sky high. He didn't want to be the victim of the 700 win, and he's such a great coach and does a lot of good things with his kids. And our kids were a little flat, but take nothing away from our kids. They've had an outstanding year, and they're getting focused, and we're trying to get them, set in the right frame of mind. We do have a very tough schedule coming up here. We've got 8 games left, and all 8 games will be very, very competitive, and that's what we want preparing for the playoff run.
Well, just kind of update the listeners. We go over to Jacksonville. First game of the tournament, we're playing Quincy Notre Dame. A younger, inexperienced team. Beat them by like 51 points. So you got a lot of, and the key thing is you got a lot of the kids some rest and got the bench playing. And then we continue to roll. I think the closest game we had was probably Chatham, and that's a big win for the kids. 22-point win. And that's I guess a statement game right there, just to kind of be able to judge your kids. Kind of update the listeners. We go to Jackson. Difficulties here. We on? All right, we're back. We are back. But that's really the biggest challenge we've had since the Lanphier and Central game, and the kids responded well.
Yeah, we had, I think that was a Wednesday game. I think we played and opened up with Taylorville on Monday night, and QND was Wednesday night, and then we played Jacksonville on Friday night. So it was a tournament that the kids played exceptionally well. We shot the ball well. The bowl's a nice place to play. It's good and warm. Probably the hardest game to play was that Saturday morning game where, the around the sides of the bowl is glass, and the light shining through there, kind of makes it hard for the shooters to find the rim and things. But we seem to fare out okay.
Well, we finished that tournament strong. I had 3 kids make the all-tournament team, and it's just consistent. And moving on to last night, just kind of fast forward a little bit, take on an SHG team, a physical team, and they seem to always give Lincoln some trouble. It was kind of just a steady game all night. We really didn't get that huge lead until the end of the game, ended up winning by 20 or so. But give us your thoughts on that game and, how you fared up.
A year ago, the first game we played them was down there, and we were in a possession game where we ended up getting beat 44-41, and they kind of got into a half-court game. If you let them settle into a half-court game and be able to beat you up, they're going to be in the basketball game. So we wanted to try to move the pressure up and force them to play a little bit quicker, and try to get us playing a little bit quicker. And that's what we've done, is we've tried, and I think our kids are more in a comfort zone when they kind of pick the pressure up and play a little bit harder, and make sure that I think when we speed up our defense, it speeds up our offense, and we can try to create some shots in the and that happened in the third quarter. I mean, all of a sudden it went from about a 10-point game to a 22, 23-point game where, Edward hit a couple threes, and that's what this team. Edward was in foul trouble the first half, didn't score a point. So here you're watching a guy that didn't score a point the first half, all of a sudden, bang, he has 8 points in about a minute span. And that's what's made this team so good, is you can't defend one guy. And, we got those shots out of transition where we tried to get down and find some shots before they got their defense set up.
And something that we saw last night, we saw Tyler Horsham right from the get-go hit a big 3, and then something that we don't typically see from Tyler, he was getting to the rim and got to the free throw line, I think for the first time this year, maybe the first time in 2 years. But is that something that you're trying to implement in your team? I know you're always saying we want to get to the rim and not always rely on the 3, because if it's not there, it's not there. You don't want to live and die by the 3, but it seems like we were a lot more aggressive to the basket last night.
Well, he got to the rim last night, and that's unusual, and that's not one of Tyler's strengths. Tyler's strength's standing down that corner and letting somebody create a shot for him, and we done that early, and then that's what happens is you hit some shots, and now they come running at you, and now it opens things up a little bit. And when we started shooting and when he was getting to the rim, Edward had hit the shots, and I think Gavin might have hit one, and it takes a help defense away from the paint, and then things open up like that. So basically anybody can get to the rim if you want to get in there. So I thought he played one of his better games last night. He shot the ball, and we played a little bit harder. And
well, let's not confuse our listeners. Tyler didn't actually touch the rim, did he?
No.
So,
but he scored a layup.
He got to the rim.
He got to the rim. He scored.
Just didn't want to confuse anybody out there, Tyler, if you're listening. We don't think you actually touched it. You just got to it.
He done what he was supposed to do.
Right.
We don't have many guys that can touch the rim.
I thought the press last night caused a lot of turnovers. Like, they just couldn't handle it. We had the ball bopping everywhere. We got our hands on the ball a lot. And again, Block, he's just been on fire lately. I mean, we didn't bring him up, but he's been on fire, scoring points and getting down the lane. And that opened up. And Bowlby hits, and just like we talked about, in the Lanford game, if Bowlby hits a few of those threes that normally he does, we may have won that game.
Well, Gavin's been playing exceptionally well, but one of the things that's helping Gavin is he's getting stronger. He's maturing, he's getting older, and he's kind of growing into his body, and I think he still has a lot more to go. I think he might grow a little bit more. I think he's going to fill out, and as he does that, he's going to be able to score inside. And if you've got a threat inside as well as out, and a kid that can pass the ball like he does, man, it opens up a lot of options for you.
They were fun to watch last night. I thought they played an excellent game.
Yeah, they played an all-around game, and you got a deep bench. If Joey gets in foul trouble, you're bringing Ebler and Will Cook off the bench, and you don't skip a beat. I mean, that's just the top of your defense. They're so scrappy and such quick hands. I don't know how many turnovers we forced just on the top of our defense, but you got to be impressed, and you got to be at ease, I guess, where if somebody does get in foul trouble, you're not hesitant to go to your bench.
Yeah, I thought Will had a great week last week, and he's playing within himself. He's doing what's going to make him good. And one thing with Will is he can get, he's so aggressive and so competitive that quick. Somebody challenges him, and he wants to go right at him, and that's not his style of game when he plays his best. His best is when he just kind of flows in with it, and he's done that the last couple of weeks. As the shots have come to him, he's just been able to sit there, and again, he's one that requires somebody to cover him, and when you do that, your middle lane is open.
And I think one of the highlights last night, and impressed people gave it recognition when Will was on the point, hounding up there. He went and stripped the ball away and went and dove for it. It went out of bounds. We didn't get the ball, but the fans and as well as the coaching staff recognized him for that, for the hustle,
sure,
for the get-go. And it's just little things like that. And we're up by 20-some points at that point in time, so the wheels are always turning.
Yeah, that was a great play. That's a hustle play that we like for our kids to do. Is we want to beat people to the floor for the ball, and when you reach down for it, more than time not, you're not going to get it.
Right.
You better get on the floor, and definitely he's not one of them that's afraid to lay out and go for it.
He's one of those hard-nosed football players that Coach Ryan had his hands on. I don't know where he got his grasp.
He's just hard-nosed.
Yeah.
His dad maybe
really
used to beat him or something.
Well, he's got an older brother. And usually the younger of the two are the more, physical. So, well, Coach, got a big game tonight. Going to Southeast. JV tips off at 5, so varsity 6:30 or so. Are we going to get the game in?
Well, we're going to try. We're going to see what the weather does here, and we're getting to the point of the season now where you get games canceled, you're going to end up piling 3 and 4 games a week, and that's really too much at this time of the year. Your kids aren't going to be able to get their legs under them, and you definitely want your legs under them. So we're hoping that we can stay on time and keep our schedule on time and not have any more postponements. We've got one a week from Tuesday. We have to go to Glenwood on a Tuesday night,
right.
And there's no more weekend nights open, so it would be during the week, and again, that throws our guys off a little bit because they're so used to the Friday, Saturday, and being able to play.
Well, I've been asked, whose decision is it ultimately to make that call? Are you guys in contact with Southeast during the day? And there's got to be a cutoff time because I'm sure you're going to want to leave around 3 o'clock or so today to get there. Is there a cutoff time, or how's that going to play out?
Well, I don't know what the cutoff time, and as far as there's some schools that do have a policy that if you're not in school, you can't have a game. Well, this is Saturday.
Saturday, right?
So that eliminates a lot of them. But then it's basically, can we get there? We had one incident where Jacksonville doesn't, they cancel quite frequently, and they something like this, I would say they would cancel. But Southeast is down in Springfield. We've got all interstate there. Mm-hmm. We'll just have to see how the roads go, and Mr. Knox and Mr. Pelker and Mr. Bagby, I'm sure will have their heads together making a decision, and they'll make the right decision on whether it's safe for our kids to be on a bus or not.
Absolutely. Well, we faced Southeast earlier in the season. I think it was our opening Central State 8 game. Kind of refresh our minds how that game went and what we can expect. I know they have their big guy, Henry. We were kind of able to control him and keep him out of the paint. But refresh our listeners what kind of team Southeast has and what you expect for tonight.
Well, Southeast is a very young basketball team. They got Jalen Henry, 6'8", senior, who is going to SIUE, a Division I school. They've got another big kid, Osley. I'm not sure what his first name is. He's about 6'9", has been playing more. So he's been playing the two big kids a little bit more. One of their best freshmen broke his foot in the city tournament, so he's been lost for the season, Trevon Williams. So he's not out, but they still have a couple other freshmen that they're playing. They've got great athletes. I think we've done a nice job defensively the first time. I don't think we played very well offensively the first time we played them. I think the game was like 40-32, 41-32, something like that. It was about a 9-point win. They didn't have Hughes. They're one of their best shooters, a sophomore. They got B.J. Hills, a junior. They're really, really going to be good next year. He's playing all of his young people, and he does an outstanding job of coaching his kids and getting them to play within his system or how he wants them to play. So it'll be a fight, and if we go down there flat, we could come home not very happy.
Well, it should be two different teams. Obviously, Lincoln, we think we're better since we played them the last time, and I'm sure Southeast thinks they're better since the last time I played Lincoln too. Coach, thanks for stopping by. Who wins Sunday, Super Bowl, Denver or Seattle?
I like Denver because I like Peyton Manning. I'm a quarterback guy. I kind of bounce around. I don't have a specific team, but I do like the quarterbacks and players, and Peyton Manning is just an outstanding person, individual, and I hope he gets a ring since he's getting to be an old guy. And
well, the last time we saw
he might be.
The last time we saw Peyton Manning get a ring, I think I was in your basement and they were playing the Bears, so that didn't turn out too well.
No, it didn't.
And you probably didn't bring a thing. You had to feed him and everything else.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I brought myself.
Super Bowl party for you.
Yeah. No, we brought stuff. I don't know what it was. But all right, Coach, thanks for swinging in on this gloomy, ugly winter day, and hopefully we get the game in tonight. Encourage all the listeners, obviously, to travel down to Springfield to watch that game. But if you can't, be sure to tune in to 96.3 FM or go online to WLCNonline.com. You can listen to a live stream there too. Coach, thanks for coming in. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. We got fantasy football winners coming in, hopefully. We got Super Bowl talk and some other things to go over. So stay tuned. You're in the cheap seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com. Good morning, sports fans.
And we're back.
We are back. And we've got Jake, the furniture guy, Johnston, in with us.
Yeah, I'm there.
You are here.
Good day.
You're here physically, mentally. It's kind of suspect.
Well,
we don't know yet.
Just a good day to buy furniture, Jake.
It is. It's nasty outside. You got to spend more time in the house. Why do you want to do that in a broke down old chair or a broke down sofa? You need something comfortable. Get yourself out there. There's plenty here for you. We've got 100 recliners to pick from, Joe. 100.
100 recliners.
100 different recliners.
It's a great day to buy furniture, I'm telling you.
I don't know of a bad day.
No, well, they're bad days.
No, there's not a bad day to buy furniture. There's never been a bad day. Not from this guy, at least.
No. So get on that. And speaking of furniture, that's where we're at. We're out here at Jake's Furnishings.
Yeah.
Doing the old cheap seats. So if you want some furniture for the Super Bowl tomorrow, you got some TVs back here too.
We've got the TVs. We're showing them off for good old Bob Betts, P&M Communications, helping him out, doing a little advertising for him, getting the people in there. We've got them set up on some TV stands so you kind of see how they fit. Can kind of picture them in your home a little bit better. But yeah, we've got everything. We've got everything here for you if you want to get set up for a big Super Bowl party or whatnot.
You ever make popcorn up here?
I cannot confirm nor deny the makage of the popcorn.
Seems like you need popcorn going up here.
Yeah, you can't eat it on the furniture, though. You got to stay back in
Buttery popcorn.
Yeah, you can keep it back behind the
and
counter.
soda.
No, I don't.
And kids.
Yeah, and kids.
Kids and popcorn.
Yeah, kids, popcorn,
and
and Kool-Aid. It seems
If
like
you're furniture shopping, make sure to bring all your kids.
Yep,
and a pack of gum.
And just something that suckers would be good. Bigger ones like lollipop size, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Well, guys, nobody wants to hear us rant about that. We're here to talk sports, so let's talk some sports.
Well, you're the leader of this group.
Well, then we're heading in the wrong
We're going in circles.
We're going in circles. Let's talk some basketball, some college basketball. Not really a whole lot to talk about for Illinois fans. I mean, they're kind of struggling right now, but
Northwestern's having some fun in the Big Ten there, but yeah, our beloved Illini. A little bit of struggles going on right now, which, I mean, there's a little bit of that going around the Big Ten right now.
Yeah,
Ohio State,
what is wrong with them?
They're kind of struggling a little bit, and Wisconsin, even at home, is having a little bit of issues. So, there's a couple teams there. Michigan State's still playing strong. Michigan's having some good games, too. They're fun to watch.
You know who's playing strong? That's the Wildcats of Northwestern. Mm-hmm. They get their new coach, and wow, they're phenomenal.
They're playing some good games.
And
I'm not gonna say they're
they're not phenomenal, like top 25,
sure,
top 10, but they're beating some teams. Just beat Ohio State, beat Illinois, which that's not that big of an accomplishment. But
I think they just won at Wisconsin.
Yeah, they did.
The regulars would beat Illinois.
It'd be a game.
It'd be a good game.
We slow them down into a half-court game and take it right to the rim.
Number one team in the nation, Arizona, at California today. Any thoughts on Arizona?
No, I haven't watched them play.
Yeah,
they're
tough. Around the country?
Yeah.
Duke's kind of falling down there.
Yep, 17.
They're not quite where they thought they'd be at the beginning of the year. I think a couple sleeper teams through this year. You're still Kansas, as high as they were rated earlier in the season. They've fallen back as well. Missouri's tough. Missouri's a good team. This year's NCAA tournament is going to be a tough one to fill out a bracket on.
How about Missouri Valley, Wichita State representing number 4 in the nation?
Wichita State has played well. I've watched them play a few times. Wow.
Well, they're
pretty good.
A Final Four team last year, and
sure.
they brought pretty much everybody back, and they're ranked number 4 right now, which is pretty impressive.
How has the Missouri Valley in the last, I'd say, 5-6 years, just catapulted in basketball into one of the better conferences in America?
Absolutely. I mean, right now some of the teams are struggling, but usually up there, Wichita State, Northern Iowa is usually pretty solid. I know they've made the tournament. SIU's turning it
right
around.
there.
ISU was starting to, turn around a little bit, but they've kind of struggled lately.
I think modern technology has helped all that. As far as like the internet and, and the exposure that you get as a young kid, that there are a lot of athletes out there that don't get Division I or and they step into that smaller school and they're still tough. Just didn't get the correct amount of exposure.
Well, and when we had the coach from the college here in about a year ago or so, we were talking to him about it, and he says, well, you can't only when you're recruiting, you can't only look at what the kid's doing right now. You've got to project kind of what his size is going to be in another year or 2 or 3 years.
Length.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of these guys are still growing. They're still maturing. They haven't even gotten their feet under them yet, as good as some of them are. So it's hard to project that. And if you can get, being from the Missouri Valley or, any other school, if you can get a couple kids that are going to stick around for a few years, be in your program and grow, you may come out with a pretty good team.
To me, it's amazing how many true freshmen step up to the Division I level and make an impact.
Yeah,
that's amazing to me. They can pop in there and do that.
It didn't used to be that way.
Look at Jabari Parker at Duke. I mean, he's a beast and true freshman. Mm-hmm. He might one and done, more than likely.
Yeah, he's one and done.
I wish they'd change that, but
I do too. But that's why Missouri Valley. That's why they're able to compete, because they get the 3 and 4 year kids. They're there, learn the program, whereas obviously they're not going to compete on recruiting with the Kentuckys and the Kansases and stuff like that, where they get the top tier guys and they're only there 1 or 2 years. But it's a style of basketball, I guess, when you can recruit and your program just kind of sells itself. So Duke, that program sells itself. You don't have to go out and
I like to watch Creighton. I like to watch McDermott.
Yeah,
it's another solid team.
Yeah, I think McDermott's tough.
And he could have went pro this year. He elected to come back his senior year. His dad's the coach, obviously.
Which I think makes it interesting. You don't have that too often in
and
big time
oh, yeah,
Division I
you
football
don't.
or basketball.
Basketball, yeah, absolutely.
But, Illinois plays Iowa today. Iowa ranked 15.
Yeah,
What's that looking like?
that's going to be a tough game for Illinois again. Ravonte Rice, since his injury, he has not been as beastly, I guess is the way you want to say
Other
it.
teams may be figuring out that's about all the offense Illinois has. And
that's part of it.
And plus, Illinois, we need some bigs. You know, if you're playing in the Big Ten, you got to have some big guys. And
It's at home, right?
yeah, it is at home. So
still going to be
So it's a
tough.
shorter drive.
Exactly. It's not too icy, I don't think, over there.
So you're not liking the outcome of that.
I'm not. No.
No.
Illinois, they'll go a stretch where they'll get on fire for a while. Or they're it's kind of you get motivated as a fan, you get into it, and all of a sudden somebody takes a step back 3-pointer that clanks off the side of the rim, and you're back to feeling like, I'm just gonna change the channel. The momentum goes the other way. All of a sudden the other team scores 6 straight points, and it's over.
All right.
So,
Well, hey, guys, let's take another commercial break. We come back. We'll talk. We're supposed to have some fantasy football guys coming in. I don't know if they're going to make it or not because of the weather. But we'll
I think
talk.
I just saw a charter bus pull in. I think they're here.
Okay. Well, we'll talk a little bit about
Madden
that.
bus.
Maybe get them in when we're not on there and get their prizes. And we got to talk Super Bowl. So
All right.
let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages. We're back,
boss.
We are at Jake's Furnishings, located on Woodlawn Drive.
Road.
Drive.
We're
You
there.
got to drive on the road.
We're out there. Well,
that's-
today.
yeah.
You might need a hovercraft or a floating utensil of some kind.
Canoe.
Canoe.
Yeah, it's pretty puddly
One of
out
those
there.
paddle boats.
And it's just like this across town. We were talking earlier,
Yeah.
trying to get your lot clear. There's nowhere for this water to go because
It's all slushed
it's all
up.
slushed up in the drain. So it's a mess out there. And if
Great day to buy furniture, though.
Yeah,
It's
great.
a great day to buy furniture, and as an insurance man, I know where all that water goes.
That's exactly
Your
right.
basement.
Yep.
Crap.
Not my basement.
I better go check my sump pump. But as always, we'd like to send out a special thanks to beautiful Lincoln Hampton Inn on Lincoln's west side for providing us with fresh coffee, pastries this morning. Call the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel at 732-6729 and enjoy all the amenities, including a free hot breakfast.
That coffee they have is
good.
And you know what? To give
staying
them
at a hotel
a personal plug while we're sitting around here, I've had plenty of people that have came in town and stayed and went out to the Hampton Inn and nothing but good things. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they do a great job out there. It's clean. They're
You stay out
they're
there
real
a lot.
friendly.
Don't you stay out there a lot?
I've stayed out there. Yeah, just
Get in trouble.
try to get
kicked
away.
out of the house.
no, I stay in the garage
Oh.
when I'm kicked out. It's not heated or anything, but I learn a lesson and I go back in.
You go
It's a
back
lovely
in.
garage.
The key is
Tell between your legs.
the key is
Fine,
you're learning
fine,
lessons.
fine.
That's right. That's right.
After 7 hours and hypothermia setting in.
Hopefully the fantasy football guys will be rolling in here in the next minute or so. If you're listening there, Jackson says, get in there. I'm going to take this TV or recliner home. You snooze, you lose,
That's
right?
right. We'll split that thing up.
That's right.
That's how we roll around this.
But first and foremost, we have got to thank the sponsors of this fantasy football. Logan Lane, Sean Taylor out there is where we held the draft.
Another great place,
Another
Logan
great
Lanes.
place.
A lot of small communities don't have a bowling alley like that.
No.
All the TVs. That's a great place.
The
golf
indoor
simulation.
golf,
They have great food.
awesome food,
Right? They have the best pop in town. I'm going
cold
to tell you.
beverages.
They've got their syrup tweaked up a little bit out there. It's like heroin in a cup on
Nice.
ice.
So
It's good stuff.
thank them.
Almost not legal, huh? So
Yeah.
close.
And we want to thank Bob Metz at P&M for donating the flat screen TV.
Yeah.
And our dog, Jake, the furniture guy, Johnston, he's donating a recliner.
Oh, that sounds good.
And Jake, what's the best day to buy furniture?
I would say the days that end in Y,
Okay.
those would be the ones I would start with.
Except for Sunday because he's not open.
It's still a good day to buy furniture,
Yeah.
though. I mean, you just give me a call, stop me at IGA. I'll meet you out there. I'm not too particular, you know.
He'll give you a key. Come in here. And
Come here, we can relax, kick back, watch some football. The big game's on tomorrow.
that's what we ought to do. Have a big old bash here.
You know what? Why don't we
God. You
just
know,
start
actually,
getting some stuff out there?
Our cameraman here, I believe we had, back in the day when he was working for me, I believe we had a big football bash here.
Yeah, it's, all kinds of setting, and then if you drink a little too much, you got places to pass out.
Yeah, just lay down.
No, I'd throw you outside.
Oh,
well, you can't stay here.
Kill the heat. They'll leave eventually.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Don't move. The motion detectors will pick you up.
You got motion detectors?
Well, yes.
Wow.
There's a big game tomorrow, gentlemen.
There is. Before we get to the game, I want to get your take on this, Joe. Being a season ticket holder of the Rams, how do you take this news where the Rams owner just purchased 60 acres in Los Angeles?
Well, they told us not to worry about it.
I told you not to. Because I know you're in cahoots with all the bigwigs over there. You go over there every preseason.
We've met a few times with the Cronkies.
He is a land
my dad
developer,
goes
though,
and has tea with them and stuff. And
he was a land developer in California, though, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he's developing
my
a new
personal opinion
stadium.
is that they are moving. That, they want to build a new stadium. They want stuff done by St. Louis, and St. Louis isn't going to give it to them, I don't think. And
they gave him a lot already.
hey, I don't think they do. I think the Rams will be gone in 2 or 3 years. I don't know how long it'll take, but they'll get that
you're
developed.
also not going to want an empty stadium. I mean, don't you have to kind of give a little? Or
I'm not sure. I think the place is paid for,
Yeah.
so they'll figure out something else. I don't know what they'll do with it, but I don't think that they. Right now, I don't think it's important to them. I think it's more important to the city of St. Louis that they're not going to tax anyone, not going to put it on the people that don't go to the games. Therefore, it's going to throw back onto the season ticket holders, and if they're not winning, we're not going to pay more money for them. But
I tell you what, with the number 2 draft pick this year, and I believe number 14, if I'm thinking right, they're going to pick up a couple more players, or even trade down and pick. They're going to be hard not to root for.
I actually think they're good. They had a good season last year.
I tell you, the move they just made, I love it. They get rid of their defensive coordinator and they bring Greg Williams.
Yeah.
Greg Williams obviously involved in the Saints scandal where the bounty hunt, but he is one heck of a defensive coordinator.
That's a good move.
And everybody deserves a second chance. He learns his lesson. And he was with the Rams before. He went to New Orleans.
He lost millions of dollars from not being able to play.
He's with the Titans.
Yeah, he's with the Rams after New Orleans.
After New Orleans, yes.
Yeah, after.
And then
hold on, didn't they hire him and then say no?
Yeah,
they hired him and then he was suspended almost right off the bat.
So they bring him back and
he's coached with Fisher before in Tennessee.
So
that's a good move for him.
I think it's awesome.
Here's what
I think their defense is one of the better young defenses in the league.
Defensive line with Long, and I mean they're just.
Let's go get Johnny Football. Is what I say.
That's where I'm at.
Johnny Football, huh?
Absolutely.
You're giving up on Bradford.
I personally have given up on Bradford. I think he is what he is. I think he got beat up his first year in the NFL, maybe the first 2 years, and he's gun shy.
You need a running back.
He looks to lay down a lot. He doesn't give us anything. When the pressure comes in, he folds up like a lawn chair. And I like him, but he's not giving us anything with his legs. And this day and age, you have to have that unless you do have Peyton Manning.
That's enough Rams talk.
Hold on, I want to tell you one interesting thing, I think. No NFL franchise has moved that has PSLs in place. So, and we have PSLs. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that because I'm not sure the Rams are going to give us all of our money back.
That's what I'm saying, because you're going to have to.
So they're going to say, hey, do you want them or what? So I told my dad, we're keeping ours. And
you go to Arena Football.
We'll sell them out in L.A., but that gives us rights to playoff games. So when the Rams are good and they have a playoff game someday, we'll just go buy
nowadays. You can pawn them off, I'm sure.
Oh, we'll sell all the season tickets. Just when they're in the playoffs, we'll fly out to Los Angeles, go to playoff games.
How will LA sell those tickets? Sell tickets because they couldn't do it before.
I don't understand why they'd want to go back. Because they have in California. There's a lot of other things going on.
There's a lot of things.
It's nice weather, but the Raiders are always bad. So
but
they may make it.
They're sold out. But with USC there, UCLA there. Those stadiums sell out. The college kids don't go to pro games really.
When they come back, it may be huge. Yeah. There's a lot of Ram fans there that were mad they moved in the first place. They may welcome them
and let's face it, if you're winning, everything
everybody
else
likes a winner.
Yeah. So cures a lot of woes.
Enough of that.
Kind of like being a
boy. He puts us on a clock.
Well, we got Super Bowl or the big game. Sorry, I guess I'm not supposed to say the Super Bowl. But we got big game.
You're in charge of this. You say whatever you want.
Well, I can't do that.
You're the boss.
Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Broncos, Peyton Manning against the Seahawks and Richard Sherman. And you know, that whole fiasco. Who do you guys got, Joe?
Am I going first? Here's my what I'll say. I think a lot of it comes down to experience. Who's the most pressure on? The quarterback.
All right.
But Russell Wilson, and I love him. I loved him at Wisconsin. He's done an excellent job this year, last year, running that team. They're, you know, let's face it, they're awesome at home, except for the Big Red went in there and, you know, taught them a lesson.
That's right.
But when you go the other side of the ball, like if you're just looking at touchdowns, Manning's thrown 55, Wilson's thrown 26. You know, that's almost twice as many. It is twice as many, a little above that for you mathematicians out there. But, you know, running the ball, they're pretty even on touchdowns. But then you've got all these receivers out there, you know, Thomas, Decker, Welker, all in double digits touchdowns. No matter, now I'm saying without injuries, I think that the Broncos can light the Seahawks up. I think they can win by a couple of touchdowns.
Now, the Seahawks have never lost by 7 points in the last 44 games.
I think they do in the Super Bowl. Because I think if Denver gets up on them a little bit and they try some things that they're not used to, because, you know, they go to the well because you got to try something, and then you get a turnover, and here we go the other direction, I think Denver can win it by a couple of touchdowns. And I hope Coach Shaner's not listening because, you know, he's diehard the Hawks, and I like the Hawks. I just think when you match the games up, Denver's a little ahead of the game on them, and they'll win the football game.
Okay, Jake, what's your take? Who do you got?
You said Shaner's a big
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Really?
big time.
He's a Hawk. Right next to that Superman
And he's
tattoo.
not a bandwagon.
Well,
John.
since I'm sitting here right now and I jumped on this bandwagon a while ago, what are you talking about? The Seahawks are the best defense in football. I mean, they are the best defense in football. Home, away, it doesn't matter. You could play them here in this furniture store. They're the best defense in football. Peyton Manning is going to have to step up, and Peyton Manning's big knock is he gets to the big game, he overplays it. He's going to overplay this one, too. You overplay against this defense, and it's going to pick six the other direction. They ain't going to stop. They're going to, I think, and I'm just talking here, obviously, but I think Seattle's going to win this, and it's going to be convincing. I think it's going to be beast mode time. The field's going to be wet and soggy. He's going to run all over Denver. You guys keep talking about this Peyton Manning 55 touchdowns. That was during the regular season. This is the playoffs.
There's a little bit of postseason.
This is the playoffs.
Right.
We're talking playoffs.
Playoffs. They don't need to practice.
We're not talking about the regular season. We're talking about the playoffs. It's defense time, guys. I don't know if you remember what happened last year, but Baltimore decided to show up during the postseason, and what happens? The defense wins the Super Bowl.
Well, you're right about that.
So I'm throwing it out there that you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
So the Hawks by how many?
I'd go.
He's got to think.
I'll go 9 points.
9.
9.
9.
Wow.
Wow.
3 field goals.
It's a good day to buy furniture.
It is a good day to buy furniture.
It is.
By the way, folks, we've got recliners on sale.
Well, guys, I'm going with Denver. I like Peyton Manning.
Who is this guy? Well, jump on the bandwagon.
Throw something at us.
Let's
why?
throw something at us. Well, it comes down to this. Denver, I don't want to word this.
This could be it.
I've been
now he's
thinking,
really
well,
go back to your
He's
notes.
thinking about that sausage down there at the Zion Lutheran school.
You can smell from here.
Seattle can win
Big
without Russell Wilson. Denver cannot win without Peyton
True.
Manning.
I said barring injuries.
Okay. Russell Wilson, you look at his numbers, he hasn't really put up those big-time numbers as a quarterback. What wins for Seattle is their defense and the beast mode, Marshawn Lynch.
Time of possession.
Mr.
Sure.
Skittles.
And
Time
those
of
times he
possession
gets
control.
away and scrambles for 14.
Right.
Because Peyton's
So-
not going to do that.
Key for Denver is to keep Russell Wilson in the pocket, because then that's also going to eliminate those A-B gaps, lanes up the middle for Marshawn Lynch. You got to pack everything in, okay? The receivers, they're not as talented as a Denver receiving. You got Golden Tate and some other
Percy
bums. Percy Harvin, which they're going to try to include him a little bit more, I guess.
When healthy, he's stud.
Percy Harvin's
is
better than anybody on.
They're going to
Denver,
put a
actually,
wrinkle
so.
in with Percy Harvin. They're going to have a set place for him just to show it. Are they going to be successful in the beginning of the game? No, but you have to prepare for that. You have to prepare for Percy Harvin. It's going to come down to, obviously, defense containing Manning. Once he gets in a groove and he's got a quick release. Seattle has probably the best defensive front in football.
Throws ducks.
He throws a lot of ducks, but he throws those ducks for a lot of yards, and a lot of touchdowns. So it's going to come
He'll
down
throw
to
a few BBs at Sherman.
Yeah, it's going to come down to alignment. Is Denver, are they going to run trips right, single left to isolate? They're not going to throw at Richard Sherman. They're going to want to get one-on-one coverage, because that free safety, he's going to have to make a choice. You got trips right. I mean, they're going to be hard to
Well, Thomas
they're going to be hard to defend.
Thomas is the best safety in
He
football.
might be the best safety, but he can't guard 4 guys.
Well, they play a lot of zone. Seattle doesn't play much man-on-man.
Well,
so
when you play that zone, there's soft spots.
There is soft spots, but you're also talking about the defense that reacts better. They're the number 1 defense for a reason.
Right.
And they don't, like I said, they don't play man-man.
And Denver's the number 1 offense for a reason.
And if they're going to play a zone, Manning is going to beat you to death out in those flats.
Right.
I mean, as long as they'll play catch in the flats all day long and get 6-8 yards, as long as everybody's catching the ball and getting out of bounds. And then every once in a while you got
you have to hope Wes Welker's catching the ball because he's had a lot of drops in his career too.
Oh,
so you better
pick
be
on
open.
Wes Welker now.
He's going to be that target because what's his name? The big guy on the other receiver for Peyton,
Demetrius.
Yeah, he's going to be. Sherman's going to be on him a lot.
Well, then you got Eric Decker. Who's going to guard Julius Thomas, that seam route up the middle? You're not going to put a linebacker on him.
I'm telling you, there's a reason why Seattle's the number 1
and has
in football.
And has the famous defensive back Sherman, and has he brought all this press on him
for
for
a
reason?
Smart man.
Yeah, as far as like
to take the pressure off other people.
Yeah, has he brought it all on himself to say, hey, you know what, to challenge Denver, to want those guys to throw over there?
I think it's just egos. I mean, they play football. A lot of people were bagging his interview after the NFC Championship game. These guys are running and playing off adrenaline. They're so pumped up, and they're not just going to shut it off like that. That's just emotion carrying over. At first, I didn't really like it. I thought he was arrogant and stupid. But now it's just they're football players. They're paid millions of dollars to go out there and be barbarians, and they can't just shut it off like that.
And I've always wondered about that. That halftime, you want to talk to a coach. No coach wants to talk to you at halftime walking off the field.
No, he's already got his speech in his head, and he's going into
And you grab a guy at the end of an emotional game like that. Hey,
that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You don't want
that
I get
anywhere.
it from you all the time. When we interview you after a game, I'm kind of scared sometimes. But
well, I'm in that beast mode type thing.
Yeah, he's
and you may say something wrong when they get you on that emotional level. You may say something wrong.
All right,
smashing his headset.
Keys to the game. What does Denver have to do to win? What does Seattle have to do to win?
Jake, go ahead. You got her first.
For Denver to win, I believe that Peyton Manning just needs to stay calm in the first 5 minutes of the game. I think he needs to take what is given. Like you said, he can pick you apart, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think Peyton Manning's, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. But he can't overplay it. He's got to take what they're giving him and just make the passes that he's made all year long, move the chains, kick a couple field goals if you have to. You don't necessarily have to get touchdowns right off the bat because you're playing, like you said, you're playing against a team that is more of a possession type team and a play clock. They're trying to kill the clock, so they're not a big scoring team. So you need to expose that. And they're for Seattle to win, I think it's simple. They're going to run the ball and they're going to stuff you on defense, and that's it.
Control the clock.
You
want to have time possession, Seattle.
That's it.
And you want to get to Peyton Manning fast.
They will get
put
to
pressure
him.
on him.
They'll put pressure on him. I don't think there's going to be a big issue there. The field's going to be wet. It's going to be kind of like it is right here, right now. It's going to be about 40 degrees, and it's going to be wet. So,
Joe, any
nuggets? I think
nuggets?
Seattle will own time of possession even if they win or lose, which is odd. In most games, whoever has the time possession, 85% of the time is going to win the game. I think they'll have time possession. There's no doubt about that. Denver's offense is geared to score points. They want to score 50 a game. They're going to go. They won't slow that up. I think the key will be they'll put bunches on both sides of the field just so you can't reroute receivers, and they'll hit the underneath them that's open going out to the flat. As soon as they can drag Denver or Seattle to come up out of that flat, then they're going to start going out and ups. Now the flat's back open again. And they'll complete those passes deep, and they'll complete them short, and I think they'll have Seattle's defense off balance. Then Seattle's going to come back. They're going to control the ball with the rushing game. I think they can run on Denver. I think they can score points on the Denver defense. It's not as strong as it should be to win a Super Bowl. I just think he's going to outscore the other team. And I look for the game to be, I think they put up 35-21, something like that, 35-20. Because Seattle will score. It's a good football team. Russell Wilson makes things happen. Denver absolutely has got to control him. The thing about Denver is, I mean, we haven't even mentioned Champ Bailey. I mean, he's a DB that you don't want to throw at.
Right.
He's a cover guy. The worst thing Denver can do is get a bunch of pressure on Russell Wilson and let him have, 80 to 100 yards rushing, because that's opening up things for you. Now you don't know what to do with him, and now he's hitting some passes, and now here comes the beast at you. I think they need Russell Wilson, you need to leave him in the pocket. Let's play defense. Let's play defense in the backfield, and make him throw into situations he doesn't want to. That's where I think Denver will beat them.
Omaha. I got to call an audible there because we're out of time, guys. That was good, wasn't it?
It was sort of authoritative, wasn't
Omaha.
it? Omaha.
Yeah. I mean,
Omaha.
He throws it out there twice.
I thought he had something in his cup over there besides coffee.
I thought he was getting a text message that was something important.
I was just checking the time, and boy, we could stay here till noon talking football, but unfortunately, we have to go.
I think the fans would like to listen to us longer.
Well, they probably just turned the dial.
As soon as we start talking, and said, "Oh, it's those guys."
Oh, well,
there it is.
Yeah.
Click.
Where's the music? I'd like to thank Jake for hosting us again today. Fantasy football winners unable to come in today. Jackson Sisk, a.k.a. Poncho, was the big winner, and your buddy Justin Schmidt was the runner-up. So they have their option between a TV and a recliner, and you can deal with them later if they come in.
Do I have to let them into my house to get the TV from me?
Well,
let's be safe, and I'll take it out to mine.
Okay. And a
Good idea.
recliner. Because
I'll take the recliner.
Spots for
Yeah,
that.
we need recliners.
yeah, you do need some more.
He's got lots of spots.
I wish there was a good day to shop for insurance.
I'm thinking right now.
I'm pretty
Meow.
sure this is a
Right
pretty
meow.
good day for insurance. All right, guys, that's it for
Yeah,
us. Like to thank the listeners for listening. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible because it'd just be silence.
Yeah.
And then our sponsors. We got a whole list of sponsors here. Thank them for sponsoring the show. It does mean a lot to us for a few bozos
And
up
my
here
mailman.
talking
Yeah,
sports,
thank
and the
him.
mailman for bringing your bills.
Yeah,
and
there you
stuff
go.
like that. So that's it for us. Next week we'll be at Christian Village. We're talking results of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you
see
two
who
bandwagon jumpers.
see who's right and who's
See who had
wrong.
to shave their heads.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
will be sitting there
We
with
do.
a Papa John's pizza.
We need to make a wager. I wish we had a Papa John's pizza still here. That was good stuff.
Maybe the loser ought to have to go over and get us some.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you one from Springfield tonight. Tune in 96.3 tonight, WLCNonline.com for the Railer game against Southeast Spartans. Tip-off around 6:30 or so it's an early tip-off. That's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Cheap Seats on 96.3, WLCNonline.com.
Good day.